I learned to spin in 1986 and I've been spinning ever since, and always dreamt of having sheep. And finally, 4 years ago, I sent out inquiries to both coasts to get Gotland, registered Gotland sheep, because they're Swedish, because Lindsberg is Swedish and my dad was born in Sweden. And I was able to find some wonderful breeders who were willing to sell me some sheep. So we transported them to Kansas, central US, and here they are. Our dream here is to have shearing days, to have farm tours. We're going to be on the Central Kansas Yarn Shop Hop here because we're a farm and we have yarn, and so people can come visit the sheep and get to know us and see how fun it is to have Gotland sheep in the area. That is fleece from Hilma, our ewe. So what we do is then we skirt it, which is taking away any of the fiber from around the legs and under the belly. And so I wash the fleece, lightens up, and it gets just really clean and really curly. This is the Gotland. There's over 900 breeds of sheep in the world, and each breed has a different quality fleece. This is the first registered Gotland flock in Kansas. So we are just so happy to have them. They were bred by the Vikings on Gotland Island, which is just east of Stockholm. And they brought back sheep on their travels, and they bred them with the local stock. And they became the Gotland sheep. We love them, and they're very friendly and good-natured. You flip open the end, and you pat it open and gently tug. You lay the fiber on the cards, and then gently untangle anything that could be tangled. And you have what's called a roll egg. And then you're ready to start drafting it and spinning it. I grew up in a family that knits and crocheted and tatted and all that. We lived on Cape Cod in the summer, and my sisters work at a yarn shop. There was gorgeous yarn, and I fell in love with wool yarn and yarn from the time I was just could walk. And so I've always wanted to spin and weave, always, my whole life. And it must be in my genetics, our genetics. Yes. Because my grandmother, your great-grandmother in Sweden used to walk down the road and knit. So we came from a knitting family. And so in 1986, I went to a festival and somebody was spinning, and I said, would you teach me to spin? And she said, yes. And then Laura, who's been a knitter and
yes, I've been knitting, I don't know,
forever.
Yeah, like we did a lot of crafts as kids, so I've been knitting for a long time. And I mostly knit socks because they're my favorite thing. And I recently started spinning as well. We got a bunch of it processed, and we got like the roving for it, which is like a very spinnable version of the yarn, and I started on that so I could learn how to spin.
And this is a traveler wheel, so it's easier to take with you. And so what spinning does is it puts twist in the fiber, because then when you try and pull it apart, it won't come apart. So then you have a nice firm thread. All of our clothes, even if it's a knit item, is made from thread that is twisted like that.
And it's like their wool changes every time you shear them.
Oh, it's amazing.
So it might be dark when they're babies and then turns white later on.
Or
It's
vice
crazy.
versa.
Yeah.
Because Thor used to be dark, almost a brown black, and now he's just a gray.
For the spring and summer, we want to launch spinning and knitting classes here on the farm. And then we're also going to start primitive dyeing of our wool.
Since these are Viking sheep, we're going to be creating processing based on the Viking process of shearing and then processing the wool, and then looking at the dyeing methods that the Vikings and the Viking women used, and actually creating that process here and demonstrating that for the people of central Kansas.
If you want to know more about what we do here on the farm, go to ericksonvalleyfarms.com, where you can find pictures of the sheep, a blog, and products that are currently for sale.